taking a lot of intestinal fortitude to do this. Jerome Kersey's wife, Teri. Please welcome her.
This is incredible. You know, I've sat right in this area with Jerome. Let's see, for Kevin Duckworth, for Maurice, for Dale, for their services, and held his hand. And I every time looked at him and said, "Don't ever do that to me." It's amazing to think I'm standing here. So first I just wanted to thank you all so much for the outpouring of love and support for my family. Thank you to the Trailblazer organization for everything that you've done for me and the continued support and encouragement. Jerome loved the Trailblazers so much. He was so proud to be part of this organization. You know, people often would ask me if I would get bothered by getting interrupted, stopped, or handed the camera to be the picture man. My answer was always no. It didn't bother me because I knew how much Jerome loved the fans. He truly did. He once told me the reason why he would stop to sign an autograph or take a picture was because he was grateful that people still remembered him. Clearly, he's remembered. I never really watched Jerome play basketball, other than what I like to call the icy hot league. Kind of when like the old guys get together on like a Saturday morning, you walk in the gym, it kind of burns your eyes a little bit from all that stuff they rub on. Yeah. I never told him that's what I called it. Actually, Terry Porter was my favorite player. Well, that's what I told him. He would always get mad at me. How could Terry be your favorite player? Who do you think was getting him the ball? Well, I never really saw Terry play either. But it was just how I kind of poked fun at him. So my story about Jerome really doesn't have anything to do with basketball. My story with Jerome was a complete love story. The man that I know was loving, caring, thoughtful, kind-hearted husband, father, grandpa. Jerome and I, along with our 4 children, Kiara, Mackenzie, Maddie, Brendan, and granddaughter Harley, led a very simple life. If he didn't have an event to attend or a Blazer game, most nights we spent at home. He was very much a family man and enjoyed dinner with our kids, where we sat at the table every night together. He made sure we prayed at every meal, whether at home or at a restaurant. We loved that about him. Jerome took care of his family. It was very important to him that we were always okay. When I first met him, I had just been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. There had been many times in our relationship where he would have to carry me And he did. He would wrap his big arms around me. I knew I was safe. He never complained or made me feel like a burden. He just did. It was just Jerome being Jerome. He was a caregiver with a huge heart. He loved to fuss over me. It drove me crazy. He always making sure I was warm enough. Made sure I was eating, taking my medication. He would often bring me flowers, cards, a can of Spam. I only ate Spam on special occasions, so it was kind of a treat. He didn't like anyone that fussed over him. I don't think that he liked the attention, but he always did a great job taking care of those he loved. Jerome loved to laugh at all the klutzy, kind of quirky things that I do. You know, I look put together, it's a facade, it's not real. I would enter a room, trip, fall, things come crashing down, he comes up, Teri's here. So we just clowned around a lot. When he'd just be chilling out, I'd love to poke at him and see how quickly I could annoy him. Then I would just laugh at him, and he always told me that I was his most difficult child. I teased him often about how we'd grow old together. Well, I would grow old because he was already there. So if you knew Jerome, you knew he was a bit of a procrastinator. If he said he was going to do something, he would do it, but kind of did it on his own time. It took him nearly 9 years to marry me. During that time, I would always remind myself that God's timing is perfect. When we got married, it was all that. Perfect day, so beautiful. It was the happiest day of my life. I will never forget the look on his face when he first saw me walk down the aisle. He had tears in his eyes. I had finally become one with my best friend, my soulmate. As I stand here right now, this very moment, I no longer feel like God's timing is perfect. This doesn't feel perfect at all. What I do know is God's timing is God's timing. It just is. Not once have I questioned why. I may never understand. I just pray that God gives me peace. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and so did Jerome. I trust that He has everything under control. My hope is in heaven. Although my plan was to spend the rest of my life with Jerome, I am so thankful and so blessed that he loved me enough and chose to spend the rest of his life with me. His very last words to me were, "Baby, I love you." He was my dream come true. Thank you.
as we draw our celebration from Kersey to a close, we know that there are so many of you that have your own Jerome story, and if you'd like to share that story or make a note to the family, please send them to the Trailblazers office